Hi, I'm John, and welcome back to Dice Paper Miniatures. We have a really exciting episode, I think, today. We just got the first rules preview for the new NORSCA RAMPAGERS Blood Bowl team. Let's check it out. All right, so the Warhammer community today announced the new Raid the Blood Bowl pitch with the boozy new Norse team rules. So here we go. So if you haven't yet, I have a separate video on this. You can check it up in the upper corner there, a link to that. But it goes into the pre-order is this coming Saturday, so there's that to begin with. But yeah, for this one, it is all about the rules. So this is really cool. So we start with the linemen. The heart of every Norscan team is its humble Norse Raider linemen. They're cheap, and they start with the block skill, right on, which allows them to remain standing after a both down result. This makes single dice blocks much more viable right from day one. These hefty jarls also have the thick skull skill, nice, which makes up for their lower armor value by making them harder to knock out. So they probably have an armor value, I'm guessing, of 8. I doubt it would be 7, but I mean, if it is 7, it's 7, but it's probably 8. We don't have the stats on those. That's probably why you'll have to pick up the Spike or just wait until, it's on the interwebs later. But that Spike magazine will have all the stats as well. This one specifically is just looking at their skills from what I'm seeing so far. Amazing looking model. So there is a little bit of a drawback to having such solid skills to begin with. It says, however, you'll also need to think a little more about where you position your linemen, as the new drunkard trait makes it harder for them to rush, which is probably fair because I always roll anyways when I rush, so just another reason not to rush. All right, unless someone is calling last orders at the bar, obviously. I wonder if that's like a Brit thing to say last orders. Here in the States, I've never heard it called that. It's always last call, but whatever. All right, so drunkard. This player suffers a -1 penalty to the dice roll when attempting to rush. Again, I already roll ones, so it doesn't matter. All right, so providing a bit more oomph are the Norse Berserkers. They also start with the block skill, nice, and have the jump up too, sweet. So they don't pay any of their movement allowance when they stand up after being prone. Smash, get smash, stagger to your feet, and smash again. Crucially, they also begin with the frenzy skill. That's a mixed bag. Okay, which gives them great power, being able to throw 2 blocks in 1 action. But beware, a canny opponent can use your blind fury to pull you out of position. Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing with the Khorne team especially. All right, so as you're forced to follow up into their former square, these guys thrive on support of their teammates, and they especially love if their colleagues can earn the guard skill, for sure. Yeah, guard's going to probably be a must-have for this team, especially with their lower armor value. Sweet sculpts. All right, so we have the Ulfwereners. Are great at punching holes in opposing lines for you to exploit. With Strength 4 and Frenzy, okay, they also have Frenzy still like they used to, all right. They can go on a proper rampage through other teams. Use them wisely, however, yes, because of Frenzy. Though they may bear the blessings of the Wolf God, they don't start with that all-important block skill. All right, meaning they'll soon find themselves targeted by canny opposing coaches. Yeah, that's a thing. That's always been a little bit of a balancing act. Do you go with the Ulfwereners or do you go with the Berserkers when you're building your starting lineup? All right, so once your Berserkers and Ulfwereners have taken out a few opposing players, you'll need someone to take advantage of the spaces appearing over the pitch. That's where the Valkyries come in. These dynamic players are fast and talented, starting with both the pass and catch skills. Holy crap. So you can really stretch the pitch with a passing game. Oh, I'm trying not to comment on that phrase. All right, so that's really cool. So they have passing and catching. Okay, so they're also useful on defense with Dauntless, which allows them to take on opposing players with a higher strength, right? And Strip Ball, which forces your opponents to drop the ball when the Valkyrie gets the pushback result in a block roll. Wow. I can't. Okay. Blitz the ball carrier and then grab it for yourself before they even know what hits them. So if you're not familiar with the rules for Dauntless and Strip Ball, they're here as well. But just in case. So Dauntless, when this player performs a block action on its own or as part of a blitz action, if the nominated target has a higher strength characteristic than this player before counting offense or defense assists, but after applying any other modifiers, roll a d6 and add the player's strength characteristic to the result. If the total is higher than the target strength characteristic, this player increases their strength characteristic to be equal to that of the target of the block action before counting offense or defense assists for the duration of this block action. Scroll down some more. If this player has another skill that allows them to perform more than one block action, such as Frenzy, they must make a Dauntless roll before each separate block action is performed. Yep, okay, so standard Dauntless. And then Strip Ball, when the player targets an opposition player that is in possession of the ball with the block action on its own or as part of a blitz action, choosing to apply a pushback result will cause the player to drop the ball in the square they are pushed back into. Okay, the ball will bounce from the square the player is pushed back into as if they had been knocked down. Okay, so now we have completing the team are the beer boars. All right, so surely candidates for the 2022's Miniature of the Year award. They can't pick up the ball, they have next to no armor, and their strength value will allow even a halfling to roll a 3-dice block. Wow, okay, so yeah, they probably have like a 0 strength. We'll find out in that new Spike magazine, like I said earlier. What they can do, however, is give your players a much-needed mid-match pick-me-up thanks to the lovely ale they carry. It's medicinal, don't you know? Sure it is. All right, so let's see what pick-me-up says. At the end of the opposition's team turn, roll a d6 for each prone, non-stunned teammate within 3 squares of a standing player with this trait. On a 5+, the prone player may immediately stand up. So it's like an AoE jump up, but it's conditional on a dice roll. Huh. Interesting. I think this has fun flavor, but if you're playing competitively, this may be a little bit too random to consider on a team. At first blush, that's what I think. So thanks to the abilities of their positionals, the Norse team offers a nice mix of violence and skill. You can add in even more damage with the Yeti and mix things up with skillful star players such as Ivar Eriksson and Thorson Stoutmead. This is true. So yeah, like I said, this coming Saturday is the pre-order, and that's for everything. The team, the dice, the cards, the pitch, and of course Spike Magazine for the rules. So, and that will have rules for not only the team, it will also have rules for the star players, of course. So, as well as, again, with the team, it's their point cost, things like that. This was a fantastic article. I think we've all been kind of excited to see what this team offers as far as skills, and here we go. We didn't have to wait for the Spike magazine to go into that, so that's a cool little preview. But that's it for this one. What do you all think? I'd love to have your comments below. And if you haven't yet and you enjoyed this content, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell. It really does help with the growth of the channel, and it's also vastly appreciated. All right, well, that's it for this one. As always, be safe, take care, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye-bye.